Hi everyone. In many ways, my hair is all fluffy. Maybe. Um. Okay, so I wanted to give a shout out to the personality that every woman does not want, and the reason why I wanted to make a video of this is because this is my point of view of my warning of what a guy you do not want by my experience. I had an experience with a man, and his name was Kanani Alika Abadella. And every day that I was with him, he would think of many ideas. If, like, for an example, he would think of ideas like, oh, if I tell her I love her tonight, in the morning, I gonna tell her, I never see that, you was drunk, you crazy, blah, 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 right? So, um, think of yourself as a girl that is with one guy, right? You with him. You're attracted to him. I'm trying to make it sound like put yourself in his shoes. Okay, it's because I wasn't attracted to him, but it's not gonna have a good connection with you if I say it the other way. So think of somebody that you're attracted to, and you finally are at a party or at at a get together or at the club, or you guys bumped into each other and you guys are finally talking to each other and you guys are finally getting along and this and that, blah blah blah. And then he says that he can confess his feelings for him, like he has for you, and he says he likes you or he loves you and this and that. Now be that girl that he did it to, and the guy that you liked and this and that, blah blah blah. I'm trying to make it seem more extreme so you guys can understand how this could really affect a person if they was really in love. Okay, the reason why it didn't affect me as bad is because I'll explain later. Okay, so a normal girl. Okay, I'm not trying to say me. Okay, I'm trying to say, think of yourself as think of a normal girl, and this guy just confessed it that I like you, and I was hoping you like me, and then she confessed it, I liked you too, and this and that, blah blah blah. But when it happened to me, I told him, yeah, I like you too. Sure, yeah, sure, I like you too. And then we kissed and blah, blah, blah. So it's different. Okay, it's different. So, but how other girls would do it is like this. Okay. Like they'll get all giggly and they'll get like, not like nervous like me. Like I'm doing this because that's how I usually when I get nervous. And it's reminding me of stories that usually make me nervous. So, um, so what happened was okay, so I gotta say his name. So when Kanani did him to me in the hallway, says, "Oh, I love you," and this and that, and will you marry me? Blah 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 blah. I just said, "Yeah, sure." This and that, because I went with the game, right? So if you see a girl do that, you guys see that as a red flag. Like, okay, this girl really not into what you're doing to her. She probably caught on that you gonna fuck with her, and she already know you fucking with her. But I ended up going along and just like, yeah, and did the whole, girlfriend girlfriend makeout thing, whatever. And the reason why I know how to do it is because I see how my girlfriends does it and how girls. So when I saw like how if a guy did this, usually a girl will, oh, like that, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, and then I made it like a habit. And so when they act a certain way, I'll be like, oh, I'll go, oh, and I'll act like a girl, right? And but you cannot use me as an example, okay? So how usually girls do is that's actually how they truly feel. That's why I did it because Kanani, seeing that reaction with girls so much, that I wanted Kanani to feel that he had me synced and sinkered, and I was puppy loved on him. Yeah. And all crazy, like all my friends was, and this and that. And it made it easier because all I had to do was join the girls that was already gaga goo goo about him and just throw in like stupid comments like okay, we had a conversation and the girls was going, oh, look, Kanani, he looks so good job with that hat. And then I would go, oh, I like the color of the hat, like really, really fast, while they're just throwing out comments, right? And they would not notice that I only commented on the hat, like, oh, I like the color of the hat. But they think now because I commented about something to do with him, they think that I am targeting him, specifically him. But if I was targeting specifically him, I would have sounded like the other girl. Oh, look at Kanani wearing the hat. I only quoted the subject that, oh, I only the hat. So it's like you have to see it like the hat was on a mannequin and was at the store, and me saying that I like the hat on the mannequin. So it doesn't say that I like the mannequin, right? It's stating that I like the hat. But because these girls are all goo goo gaga and all in love with Kanani, that it made it easier to make myself look all goo goo gaga and all in love with Kanani with them around me. Because all I have to do is just throw in quotes like that, and they will manipulate the whole statement. Because when they talk to Kanani, they need a conversation, and they will conversate of me. They'll conversate of me. Like, oh, Sam said this, and oh, Sam said she liked your hat, Kanani. Like, okay, because I was in the garage, and I just took around the bend of the garage, and then the girl came out, and I just leaned against the wall just because I just went for here. And then I heard her say, oh, Kanani, Sam says she likes your hat. It's a nice color. So they do know that I quoted on the color, but they still think I'm quoting for him because they said, oh, Kanani, Sam said she likes your hat and it's a nice color. Your hat. And I didn't ever said his hat. I just said, oh, I like the color of the hat. Okay. I said the color of the hat. But then but I used it. I was leaning against the wall. I said, rockin' sinker. Rockin' fucking sinker. That motherfucker think I'm in love with his ass now. So you cannot use that again. You cannot use me. But if I was that girl, like the girl that walked up to him and go, oh, Kanani, Sam likes your hat. It's a nice color. And if Kanani turned around and told her, oh, I like you, and da 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 da, that girl would turn full blood red, all blushy, all giggly, and stay with him for a little while. And then she would run in the room with us and start giggling about Kanani. Okay, that's how it usually works. Okay, that's where I thought I was going to get caught by Kanani, because when he did it to me, I said, yeah, sure. And I was going around, but I forgot to grab all the girls and go run in the room and go gossip. Okay. Later that day, like Kanani comes to me and go, oh, you never tell anybody what I told you. And I was like, but right there gave me the sign that, okay, he is playing with me. he doesn't like me. He just playing one game. As he trying for, hook up with somebody or something like that, right? To make himself look good. So I was like, oh, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to tell anyone. He said, go tell everybody. So that night, I went up to the girl that he specifically was trying to hook up with. And I knew that she's more attracted to guys that is taken. She doesn't really like to go for guys that is single, but she does like guys that is taken. So I sat next to her and then I was like, and I was prepping myself like, okay, I got this. And I was like, hi, girl. And she goes, hi. I was like, oh my God, guess what? She goes, Kanani just told me he likes me. What should I do, girl? And she goes, Kanani just said he likes you. And right there, I fucking caught her. Because the way she turned, like, wait, Kanani said he likes you? Because that whole time, she was loving the attention from Kanani, that Kanani was chasing her. But then, and when flip her switch, hearing it straight from one girl that's coming straight to her out of her mouth, that the guy that's supposed to be chasing her around no like her, likes another her, right? Perfect. Just sink the bitch. I just sink the bitch right there. She looks at me like, oh, for real? And I'm like, I'm like, why? What do you think I should tell him? I never really tell him I liked him back, but I kind of like him. But you guys already know I said, oh yeah, sure, I like you too, blah, 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 right? But you see how I'm lying to her? Like, I'm like, oh, it's only to extend a conversation. Like, oh, I didn't know how to explain. I didn't know how to, talk to Kanani, and I didn't know how to tell Kanani I liked him back, and you have any ideas? And da 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 da. And she's like, at first she's like, oh no, and then this is how she was. She's like, oh no, Kanani's not my type. That's why I don't even like him. It's da da. He was trying to get with me, girl, like forever. Like, bruh, she started to blast out all his dirt. Like all his dirt, like girl, he just called me up yesterday trying to hook up with me. Like he was trying to fuck around with me the other week, and I told him no. And then like she was going off, and I was like, oh, for real? Like, are you serious? Do you? And then this is like, and then I came like her friend, like totally, like we both forgot that I said he would like me, and then we got into this conversation, like. She was like, girl, like for real. And she told me everything, like how he was trying to hit up on her, like how he was trying to, act like he was like pimp daddy, and like how he would call her up all the time and like ask her what she doing, and where her husband at, and this. Yeah, she was married. She was a married woman. And that's the reason why she don't like single men, because she married, and she like her say that she know the wife. That's why she know that. It was like her whole system of how she can play without getting caught and this and that, blah blah blah. And so I was like, whatever. And then later that night, I pretend I'm gonna go home. Okay, I'm like, oh yeah, and I kiss everybody goodbye, like, oh bye, like, yeah, see you later, bye, like, but not to Kanani. That's one guy I made sure I did not say goodbye to. Okay, because if I say goodbye to him, then it will be like this huge, oh, why, where you going? And he gotta pretend, right? Because he's still pretending in the game, right? So if I just disappear and leave, I giving him an excuse that, oh, she left, whatever. She not tell me shit. Well, fuck her too then. Give him an excuse that I'm being the bad bitch, like the bad girlfriend, the bad bitch, blah, 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 right? So he calls me, and then I tell him, oh, you're not talking, like I pretend fight with him. Like, oh, you are not a girl anyway. I don't care, blah, 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 do whatever you like, da, 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 and hang up on him. Yeah, I know, answer the phone. So and I know he had me on speakerphone so everybody could hear. Well, mostly that girl could hear. Yeah, that lady could hear. And then I heard from one of the guys, one of my guy insiders said, oh, Kanani left with that lady, you know. And I said, oh, for real? And I said, oh, no worry. He finally getting what he wanted. Like, he finally getting what he needs. Like, he been chasing her for so long, he finally can get her. You know what I mean? And they was like, oh, that's what you was doing. I was wondering why you was, and even the guy too is like, I was wondering why you was walking around saying that Kanani told you he liked you. I was even in, like, kind of like, what the fuck? And like, I was even lost. It's like, yeah, I know, right? Even like, you should be in my shoes. And me and him was talking, and oh yeah, his name was Joey. And me and him was talking, and me and Joey used to have so much fun talking shit about Kanani, because Joey could see what Kanani was doing too, but Joey could also see what I was doing. So Joey gave me a promise that he would never tell Kanani what I was truly doing. And Joey gave me a promise that he will help me, he will assist me on keeping Kanani away from me. He will do everything he can to keep him away from me. And Joey became really stable on it. Was one night that Kanani was doing it to me again, and Joey was like, "Brah, this is fucking annoying." And I said, "Why?" He's like, "The only reason why Kanani brought you to this party is because he said he was bringing one chick with him, and nobody wanted, no girl wanted to come with him." And I said, "Why? Look at all the guys here. All the husbands stay here." And I was like, I said, "Joey, are you serious?" And me and Joey was outside in the dark by his truck. And he said, "Yeah, Samantha, I'm not joking. You was Kanani's last resort for bring one girl here. And you was the only choice that Kanani could bring, because all the girls that he fucking with is all his friends' wives." And Joey went drag me in the house, and I was looking at all the girls, and I look at the husbands. All the girls' faces would turn fucking red, and then turn away, and then run to their husbands. And they sat next to their husbands as long as I was at the party. As long as I was at the party, they wouldn't leave their husband's side, because they thought that I was going to go up to their husband and tell their husband what they was doing with Kanani. Until I went up to all the girls and then to all the wives and said, "I'm not going to tell your husbands nothing." Because I knew a secret. The husbands already knew that the wives was fucking around with Kanani. The husbands also had their own concubines and other girlfriends that they was hiding from their wives. They was just controlling who their wives was fooling around with, so they don't feel stupid. They know they made their wives and Kanani believe that they were doing it all behind their back, but they wasn't. How I know this is because all the husbands when called me to a meeting and told me, no say nothing about our wives with Kanani, yeah? No tell nobody. And I looking at all the husbands like, wait, you guys know already? They said, yeah. And I said, Brandon, I'm not telling nobody. The only person I was going to tell was you guys. I don't gossip around and go tell everybody in the world. I usually tell you first. And then I go gossiping around after we fight, beat up each other. And then I tell the story. This is what happened. And then we didn't fight. And then they try to beat me up and try to kill me. But because I went to the source first. That's usually how it works. When you go to the source first, they always like kill you. Believe me. They always like kill you. And that's how I can prove that I wasn't one gossiper. I went straight to the source and told the source my information and took it from there. But meaning I don't go to the third party, fourth party, fifth party, cousin, sister, brother. No, I go straight to you. You the source, I go straight to you. And look, good thing I went straight to them, right? Never make them big hakaka, never make them huge problem. Everybody thought they were still playing the game.